You need people like me.
Matthew Kline Kader!
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Matthew Kline Kader.
I'm a fucking lion. Ultimate entertainment competition. You want to say you're a fighter? Come Kline Kader's the pinnacle of excellence.
I am the God.
We are live. Matthew Kline Kader. Kader Unleashed episode 1. We are in the house live on YouTube.
What's up, Kobe?
What's good, my brother? Excited to get this thing rolling. We got our pilot episode out of the way. Episode 1 officially going down right now.
Yeah, man. How's your week going, bro?
It's pretty good, man. Back to work. You know, I gotta love that paycheck. But the summer was good to me. Mayweather out of the way. Couple good UFC fights coming up. Some other stuff on the horizon. The NFL, the NBA. So a lot to be grateful for as the fall season approaches.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's like, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen now with this fight's over. You know, the fight. You know, I don't see what's now coming up. Is there any big fights coming up next, or what's the story?
I don't know, man. Amanda Nunes is fighting Valentina Shevchenko. It's crazy because Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson is on the precipice of shattering an all-time record in title defenses. He will have successfully defended his title 11 times if he wins at UFC 215. Beating Anderson Silva, and nobody's talking about it. People would rather still talk about Mayweather McGregor. So there are things coming up. They're just not getting a lot of coverage.
Yeah. You know, I put up a poll, and you know, I had 4 topics there, and I was willing to discuss anything, you know, the fans wanted me to discuss, and we're gonna keep that trend going every week. That's gonna be a part of the show. We're gonna have the 4 topics, and people get to vote, and maybe we'll do some options where, you know, we can have a fan choose the 4 topics. So, you know, we're going to try to keep it interactive. I want to talk about what the people want to hear. And, hey, it's not a surprise that out of the 4 topics, what people want to hear is, what is Matthew Kline Kader going to do on December 9th? What is his plan when he gets into Dublin, Ireland? That's what the people voted for. That is the overwhelming question. And, you know, I want to get into the detail because, you know, people want to know, what is Matthew Kline Kader doing? What is his training? What is his daily regimen? Well, I'll let you guys know. I'm training 6 times a day. 6 times a day. I'm doing my cardio. I'm doing my weightlifting. I'm doing my sparring. And I have people that are specifically there for me. I don't go train at a camp. I don't train, you know, with other people. The people are coming. They're training. They're there to train for me and be there basically as a punching bag for Matthew Kline Kader to beat him up. And I get my work in, and that's what I do. And I'm so ready. I'm ready to go there. I hope to God Conor has the guts to show up, because I'm spending a lot of money. And this is going to be on pay-per-view. This is going to be on pay-per-view again, just like I did with the Cody Garbrandt situation. It's going to be $99.95. The same thing as Mayweather McGregor, because this is going to be just as big. This is what the people want to see. And I guarantee you, if Conor shows up, this is going to be huge. I don't know if you saw this last night on Snapchat. I posted it was a snippet of a phone call I was having with somebody in Croke Park in Dublin, Ireland. I don't know if you're familiar with Croke Park. This is the stadium in Dublin, Ireland that has a capacity of 70,000 people. So I'm in negotiation with them to book the arena. So if we book the arena, I'm gonna have tickets there for sale, and people can show up and, you know, support Matthew Kline Kader, because I'm the true king of Dublin. Conor McGregor is a multi-millionaire. He doesn't even want to fight in his home country. He's a greedy, selfish piece of shit. I'm the one going all the way to his country, and I'm going to fight for his people. And there's so many Irish people that are behind me. And they said, you know, Matthew Kline Kader, we respect you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for coming to Croke Park, because the UFC doesn't care about Croke Park. Conor McGregor doesn't care about Croke Park. And we are so happy that you're acknowledging our great country and you're going to come here because we view you as the king. Conor McGregor can claim to be the king of Dublin, Ireland. But Matthew Kline Kader is the king of the world. Every country is behind Matthew Kline Kader because he's the real world champion. You can't be a champion of one country. You have to be the world champion, and I am that. That's the difference between me and Conor McGregor, me and Floyd Mayweather, me and any of these entertainment guys. They are not a true world champion. You gotta have fans everywhere.
Is there anything that you took from the Mayweather-McGregor fight that you know, like a good takeaway, like maybe him gassing or breaking? Because that's been a bit of a common trend in a few fights. We've seen it in the first fight with Nate Diaz at 196. We've seen it again sort of at UFC 202. He kind of worked his way through it, but then again against Floyd Mayweather started to break later in the fight. So do you see like the cardio as being a potential issue? And do you think he has that warrior mentality deep down? When he gets dragged into deep waters, do you see him drowning or do you see him swimming?
Yeah, I mean, this is what I see with Conor. I see a lot of mental weakness, and he comes in, and if you stand your ground and you don't show him any fear and you push him, just like Mayweather, man, I'm so tired. I'm so fucking tired of all these people, all the McGregor fans giving him an excuse and saying, oh, he lasted 10 rounds. What the fuck? If McGregor won, they would have been shitting on Mayweather.
Oh,
McGregor,
yeah.
He's still the fucking hero. And this is the thing. Mayweather's a defensive fighter, the greatest defensive fighter of all time. And he went offensive on him. I think maybe in the first couple rounds he was maybe this. I don't even think he was defensive. He was just more like, let me see what you got. Come on, throw it. Give it to me. And it's like once you take Conor's shots and he just starts mentally breaking down, he gets tired, his cardio's horrible. I don't understand, you know, how this guy's claiming to be a world champion. He's getting tired in every fight. He's gassing out. Mayweather, they keep talking about his age. He's 40 years old, but that motherfucker was fresh after 10 rounds. He could have went another 20 rounds. No problem.
Yeah.
I think if he wanted to, he could fight another 10 years. You think he's fighting because he's old? No, he's fighting because he's rich. He stopped fighting because he's rich now. He doesn't need to fight. He has his businesses. He's doing all types of shit. He doesn't need to fight anymore. So, I mean, that's what I see. I see if somebody stands toe-to-toe with Conor, just like Nate did in the first fight, took his hard shots, and then Conor starts getting scared, he starts gassing out. So, I just think, you know, there's a lot of hype here with McGregor, and I believe he will take his next UFC fight against Nate Diaz, and then he's going to leave the UFC, and he's going to pick his fights. He's going to pick, you know, the easiest fights, and that he's going to kind of go the Mayweather route, which, you know, picking the fights, and he'll be winning that way, because he doesn't want to fight any real champions. That's the thing. So, I don't know. What do you think?
I think he's really one loss away from being Ronda Rousey out the door, and that's not no disrespect to her. She defended her title 5 times. Conor has never defended one title anywhere. And look, I'm not a Conor McGregor hater. I've enjoyed watching him fight. I've picked him to win fights. He's had a very favorable matchups throughout his tenure with the UFC. Of all the fights right now that he could potentially have, my opinion, Khabib Nurmagomedov is by far the hardest. Not just the hardest fight, but the hardest stylistic fight. Nate Diaz is probably the most winnable. That's not a knock on Nate Diaz, who's 14-9 in the UFC. Nate Diaz is never going to be a world champion. That's not an insult. That's just a fact. And Conor's already beat him once. Barely got by him. Now, the perception of one judge changed that just as easily, Conor's 0-2 against Nate Diaz. They don't want to fight Ferguson because he's tricky and he's super tough. Yeah, he's a little bit chinny, I think, but at the end of the day, he's got a lot of fire left in him still. The best fight for Conor McGregor right now in the 155-pound division, also known as Murderer's Row, is Nate Diaz, because it's the most winnable fight. If he loses one more, hell's going to break loose. His character, his tenure, his whole thing, his shtick is not built for losing. He's not built for losing. Ronda lost twice, and she's out the door. So I think Conor's legacy is hanging on a thread here. And I also think the sharks in the water are smelling blood after watching that Mayweather fight. You're 29 years old. You're in your prime. They had that motherfucker hooked up to machines like robots doing cardio. It's just boxing. It's single discipline. I'm not going to get tired. I don't have to wrestle and grapple the same way. It's just hands. I'm not going to get tired. And what happened? He broke again. It's a physical problem, but it's also a mental problem. And it's a big problem because every day these fighters get better. Every day they train harder. And there are people coming and gunning for that 155-pound strap, which he has never defended. So in my opinion, he is in an absolute must-win situation. So if you went in there and starched Conor McGregor, that would be the end of Conor McGregor. But if Nate Diaz goes in there and rolls him for that strap, which I don't even think Nate really deserves a title shot. He's 3-2 in his last 5, 4-4 in his last 8. Conor's virtually out the door. He cannot afford to lose again.
Yeah, I agree with, we're on the same page as far as all of that goes. And, what I'm saying is this. It's like, Conor, he's claiming he always wants to talk about I'm the champion of champions, I'm the 2-weight division champion. Motherfucker, you don't even defend your title. You don't even, you don't do what a champion should do. A real champion like myself says anyone, anytime, any place. That's a true champion. And if Conor was like that, I'd respect him a lot more. And it's like, he's just being a coward. And I guarantee you, he saw my fight outside of T-Mobile Arena. I know for a fact because the biggest media outlet in Ireland covered that story, so he's seen it. And, he saw my timing. If you guys see my fight, I was just playing with them. Because the first fight I did, I knocked the guy out with one punch, so they were saying, oh, it's fake, you did it to, how do you knock someone out? I said, okay, fine, I'll, move around, show you my combos, and I was just having fun with it, gave some body shots, jabbed them in the head, and when I was done playing with them, I knocked them out. So that's the power, and it's like, when you have the power, you have the cardio, you have the mental focus. Those are the things that makes a true champion. A true champion is not fearful of a man's weight. He's not fearful of anything. You got to have that killer mindset. The way I look at it, I'm a lion in the jungle, and that guy's my prey. I need to get that prey, kill him, and bring that food home to my family. That's the way I look at it. And, guys like Conor, I respect him in one way, that he never pulls out of fights. That's one, I'll give him that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's because there's a lot of guys they pull in, like Nurmagomedov, this guy's fucking, his toe gets hurt, he's pulling out of fights. And it's like, oh, you didn't make weight? You're a bitch. You signed a contract, you said I'm going to come out of weight, they don't make weight. For Matthew Kline Kader, weight doesn't matter. If I'm the challenger, say, I don't give a fuck, bring him at his whatever weight he's at, 200, that's fine. I'll come in at fucking the contracted weight. Like, if Conor wants to fight, right now I'm walking around 190. He wants me to cut to 155, no problem. I'll cut to 155. He can come in at his walking weight at 170, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Matthew Kline Kader doesn't try to put people at disadvantages. If he's a real man, he'll say, come in at whatever weight you are, let's do it. Because weight, this stuff, I don't like that. I think a true fight, it shouldn't matter how much the guy weighs, how big he is, because it ain't about the size of the fighter. It's the fight inside the fighter. And that's something that I have. And, people want to continue to doubt me. I'm going to continue to make history. I'm going to go to Dublin, If Conor doesn't show up, he's a coward. If his coach doesn't come in and pay me the money that he said he was going to pay, not to me, but to charity, I'm going to take the money, give it to charity like he said he was going to do. These people are cowards. I'm exposing this business. I'm proving to the world this is a business. It's entertainment. They're not fighters, because a real fighter would never behave like this. And you guys saw what happened in the past, and I guarantee you it's going to happen again. I'm a man of my word. I always, back up everything that I say. And to this point, Kobe, have I not done everything that I said I was going to do?
You did say you were going to go to Sacramento, and you did show up. I have to give you that. Can't take that away from you. Now, look, they're talking about doing Diaz-McGregor 3. Nate's training already, but that's because he's huge and he's been eating tacos and drinking tequila. So it's no surprise to me that he's starting to get ready. One, because of the payday, and two, because he senses a victory in front of him. Just like that, Nate Diaz might become a world champion. I think December is too early. I don't think Conor McGregor is going to have that quick of a turnaround after Mayweather-McGregor. He's in Ibiza right now partying. So does that interrupt your plans at all? If they start giving you a date or a timeline, as long as it's not December, that shouldn't interfere with anything. But if Conor goes crazy and just agrees to fight Nate in December, which again, I doubt, I don't think it's going to come that soon, does that change anything for you? Because you're talking about December as well.
I'm going to wait and let's see if he reaches out, his team reaches out, and they want to formally set a date and time. Because last time, Conor hasn't called me out. The issue is that Kavanagh said something. His head coach, he said he was going to donate some money. So the issue is really with him. But the issue I have with Conor is him talking about bodybuilders, calling bodybuilders juice head. It's not easy to look like this. This is hard work. This is dedication. And that shows to me he's a mental midget, because he should understand that if he works hard, he should know what it takes, to look like that. And he doesn't work hard. You can tell by his body. He should be in a lot better shape than he is. But if his team reaches out to me and they want to set a formal date, they want to promote it, he wants to make money on it, that's fine. I don't need to get paid. I'm fighting for pride. But if they want to sell pay-per-views and all that, the only thing I ask is to cover my travel expenses. That's why I want to put it on pay-per-view. If he doesn't say anything and I'm going to go there on my own, I need to put on pay-per-view because it's very expensive to go all the way to Dublin, Ireland. Very expensive. It's not like when I was going to Sacramento. That costs money too, but this is going to another fucking country. So I would have to sell, make some type of monetization on this, by doing the pay-per-view to cover those expenses. So right now I don't know, we'll see what's going to happen, but I have to show up because of Kavanaugh, what he said. I have to go call him out on that.
Yeah, let's mention that one more time. I think people need to know exactly what went down there, because it's kind of a bit of a gray area for some. What exactly did he say on Twitter so that now that you're saying that he owes you money?
When the thing happened with Sacramento with that kid, he opened his big mouth, and there's an article, just go Google it. John Kavanagh, Matthew Kline Kader. Put it in your Google and click enter, and you'll see the article come up on sportsjoe.ie, which is a big Irish media outlet, sports outlet. They covered the story. So what happened was he came out. There's a lot of people that were saying he's not going to show up. Okay, they were saying, Matthew Kline Kader, the bodybuilder, is not going to show up. Then, so Kavanagh said, if the bodybuilder shows up, I'm going to donate $1,000 to charity if he shows up. If he knocks out Cody Garbrandt, I'll donate $10,000. Well, I knocked him out because the motherfucker ran away when I got there. That's a knockout. If he leaves and I'm there, why would he leave? If I'm a little bitch and I don't know how to fight, then you should stay there. They act like I got there at midnight, came in the afternoon. Why would you go home so quick? Expose me. Come knock me out, expose me, and go home. If that's me, and I call some guy, say, here's an address, come by. and he says he's coming. I'm going to sit there all day, just like this, and say, come on, motherfucker, I'm going to give you the worst beating of your life. But he didn't do that because he knew I was going to fucking ruin his life. So the thing is, with all these people that were doubting me, Kavanagh he wrote a check, and now I'm going to go fucking cash it. You're trying to say you're going to go donate money. You need to give me that money, you fucking coward, because he went quiet after that. After I showed up, he didn't say anything about the $1,000. He didn't say anything about the $10,000. He just shut up. I called him out on it. I tagged him, and he didn't say anything. So I'm going to go in person and fucking say it to his face. And I'm going to fucking grab him by his pencil neck and fucking throw him against the wall and say, you fucking need to learn how to be a man. Because what my father taught me, if you say, be a man of your word. We don't need to sign contracts. You fucking say something, your word should be your bond. There shouldn't be a contract. I don't like these coward antics. Be a man of your word. It's that simple.
Right, and I actually just dug around on the internet and found that tweet that you were talking about, and I'm going to run it on the screen here just so people can see exactly what was said. So John Kavanagh says, if the bodybuilder shows up and has a straightener with a Cody No Love, I'll donate $1,000 to charity. If he beats Cody, I'll add a $0. So you are correct. John Kavanagh did say that and put it on record. I just ran that on the screen so we can see that is fact. So is he somebody maybe you'll look to reach out to before this thing is said and done to remind him and maybe help get it going or catch Conor's attention?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, just waiting on them to, you know, I was waiting for the Mayweather shit to, you know, finish up, and now that the fight's over, I should be, you know, expecting some type of response from their camp, something. I will show up unless they give me some formal response. If Kavanagh comes out and says, you know, Conor doesn't want to fight you, but I'll donate the money, I'll just drop the whole thing. You know, it's that simple. So we'll see what happens. You know, we'll play it out. You know, and people are asking me, you know, what's your training like? Well, man, I'm training. I don't give a fuck if it's Conor or not. I don't care. After December 9th, you know, it's done. I'm moving on from the fucking Ultimate Entertainers. I'll be focusing on Kader Fight Promotions. I'll be doing my fights, and that's it. You know, people want to continue to say Matthew Kline Kader is this and that. I don't give a fuck. Matthew Kline Kader lives for himself. Matthew Kline Kader loves himself. Matthew Kline Kader doesn't give a fuck what you say about him, what you make your little videos about saying about him. Matthew Kline Kader loves his fans. Matthew Kline Kader is a positive person. He works to make history. Matthew Kline Kader is the greatest. I'm not just the greatest at fighting. I'm the greatest of everything. I'm better than you at, you know, cleaning my window. I'm better than you at, you know, tennis. I'm better than you at basketball. I'm better than you at everything. That's a real world champion. The fighting it's fun, man. I've been boxing since I was 3 years old. It was a hobby of mine. Never did it for promotion because I would never work for another man. I would never go be another promoter's bitch. Like Conor McGregor, well, you know how much money Conor McGregor had before he went to the UFC? He was making $130 on welfare. Then that just shows me how he doesn't have the intelligence. Because if he had intelligence, he could have been making money doing something else. But he had to go work for the man and, you know, make his money by working for the man. But when you're a winner, you make your money your own way. You don't need to go work for anyone else. That's the difference between Matthew Kline Kader and a Conor McGregor. We are two different animals. My mental, I don't have that mental weakness like Conor McGregor has. You cannot break someone like me down mentally because I've seen the worst of the worst in life. I've been at the bottom, and we'll talk about this. This will be a topic in a podcast. How I came from a family with money, and we lost money. I got money. I lost money. I got the money. It's been a roller coaster my whole life. It's never been like I got fucking a trust fund, and I'm just living my life. I've had to work my ass off for every single thing that I've had. So.
Right. So, well, it's going to be exciting, man. I can't wait to watch it all unfold, and maybe you can catch his attention sooner rather than later when he gets back from Ibiza party, and so you guys can get this thing rocking and rolling. Anything else on the horizon? Anything else on your mind that you want to talk about, man?
I just want to say this. I want to say one more thing. There's this thing that there's this conception going on my social media that you can just come on there and say you want to fight me and I'm supposed to accept your challenge. There's people coming on my social media and they're saying, come to Canada, come to Wyoming, like, is that a joke? I'm going to come to Canada to, who the fuck are you? And I'm going to come to you. That doesn't even make sense. So I'm going to say it. This is the last time. I'm telling you two, and I'm telling everyone, because there's people are going to watch this later. Stop fucking calling me out. You're never going to get a response. Go work on yourself. And when I give you an opportunity, there'll be an opportunity in the future. Kader Fight Promotions is a fight promotions. There's big things coming. There's a lot of things we're working on. We're going to start signing a stable of fighters, and anyone can apply. All of you Joe Schmoes that are offering me $100, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, man, that's chump shit, guys. That's nothing. I don't want your money. I'll beat the fuck out of you for free. You come work for my company. We'll fight for free, and if you can beat me, then you will be the real world champion. We'll promote you at Kader Fight Promotion. That's no problem at all. So that's what I want the people to understand. Stop attacking, after this show, don't go email Kobe, tweet him. He has nothing to do with this. He's already been told. I told you before this. Don't ever tell. I don't want to hear it, right? I don't want to hear about the challenges some idiot said to you. I got 9,000 idiots coming on Twitter and Instagram messaging me all day. So you guys just wait. You'll have an opportunity. Kader Fight Promotion will post out an application. You fill it out. If you're serious, we'll set it up. We'll bring you out to wherever I'm at. You don't have to spend any money. You don't have to give me your life savings of $1,000. You don't have to give me your life savings of $10,000. You can keep your little money. We'll bring you out, and you can make some money with us. And I don't want to spoil it, but there are some big things going on with Kader Fight Promotion. This is going to be a big, big deal. And if someone can beat the real world champion, Kader Fight Promotion will promote you. We will put you on realworldchampion.com. You will be the real world champion, and you're going to have your opportunity. But you know what's going to happen? You're all going to get knocked out, and you're going to regret it, and you're going to go back to living your life with pity. You're going to wallow in your and think, man, I made the biggest mistake in my life. And your 10 followers that follow you are just going to go and unfollow you. So, and it's like, they're all going to get...
But this is the best ever.
See, but let me tell you what will happen with Conor. If Conor accepts the fight and I fight him and I knock him out, you know what they're going to say? They're going to say, you cheated, you were bigger than him, you didn't let him prepare. All the Conor McGregor fans are going to say this. You're on drugs, you're on steroids, you need to fight him in the UFC. They would just keep bashing the real world champion. But that's fine. I don't want fans. I have fans, my true fans, they're real winners. I have a lot of real fans. And those people, they're all successful people. They're hardworking people. They wake up and they want to be better than they were yesterday. I've said this many times. To be like Matthew Kline Kader, you don't have to look like Matthew Kline Kader. You don't have to be as strong as Matthew Kline Kader. You don't have to have a body like Matthew Kline Kader. All you have to do is have that winner mentality. You need to wake up in the morning and be better than you were yesterday and be Only focus on yourself. Don't focus on anyone else. The losers, the people that are out there, you know, worried about me, checking my shit, you know, nonstop, those are the people that hate their lives. They know they're a loser. They know they're never going to be anything in this world. So they're obsessed with me and they're lazy. Like, let's go bash Matthew Kline Kader and let's see if that can make me feel better about myself. Let me project all my negative feelings about myself onto him. Well, you know what, guys? That's a horrible way of living. And I hope that you guys will change because, you know, life's too short, guys. I believe in all of you. I believe in every single one of you. Just be better than yourself. Stop comparing yourself with me. I'll teach you how to be a winner. But if you're going to want to challenge me, it's going to be the biggest mistake of your life. And when I knock out your golden goose of MMA, you guys are going to just make excuses. If I went inside, if Conor says, let's do a UFC, mixed martial arts bout, hey, I'm going to be honest with you guys. He's going to have a big, big advantage. I never done that. I'm not a mixed martial artist. I'm a fighter. Fighting is coming up with your hands, and we're going to scrap. Now, if we're doing mixed martial arts competition, we're going to have Herb Dean, we're going to have rounds, we're going to have rules. I can't throw an elbow here, I can't throw a kick here. Okay, well now that's his dimension, and he's the best. So I'm not saying anything. I'm always being honest, right? Conor would probably have a huge advantage of me in MMA. If Conor fought me in MMA right now, he's going to beat me. If we're going to have a fight, we're gonna meet up, we're going to scrap. There ain't no rounds. I'm going to fucking bully him, and there's not going to be a fucking bell there to save him when I'm beating his ass. He's going to be in trouble. So, but if I have time to prepare for an MMA bout, I would do it. But I would need some time. I would need to be accustomed to a Herb Dean there to tell me the rules and, you know, to be prepared for the rounds and do all that stuff, because that's different. That's not, you know, it's a competition. It's not true fighting. Let me tell you, there's one fighter I respect, MMA fighter I respect. It's George St. Pierre. This guy, you know, that's the only guy I respect. He's, you know, he always keeps it real. He said real fighting is if you fight and there's no rounds. Go look it up. He said it on an interview. He said if you fight, he said I'd rather fight with no rounds. That's a true man. That's the first guy I ever heard say that in MMA. And that's a true fight. So that's, you know, that's my take on it. I mean, I'm ready though. I'm ready to, you know, I want to do a real fight. I don't like MMA. I don't want to do MMA. People need to stop saying I'm trying to do MMA. I never said I'm doing MMA. I'm a fighter. I've been fighting since I was a kid. I've been boxing since I was a kid. I always took fights, and I'm a different fucking animal.
Let me ask you a question real quick. I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. So, because you're going to face a wrath of Conor McGregor fans. They are a different breed. And I've said it before. I'll say it again. I've enjoyed watching him fight. I think he's a world-class striker. I've never said nothing bad about the guy, but I mean, if there's any sort of constructive criticism, you're automatically a hater. Here's the narrative. He's going to bounce Floyd Mayweather's head off the canvas. He's old. His hands are too small. He's brittle. He's washed up. He's one-dimensional. Conor is too different, or as Robin Black put it, he was going to disrupt Floyd Mayweather, and that was how he was going to defeat him. None of that happened. None of that happened. Conor didn't bounce anybody's head off the canvas. Conor got walked down, and he got the shit kicked out of him by a 40-year-old man. TBE, for the record, the best ever. So, yeah, he's 40, and he's the best ever. This guy was hanging out in strip clubs and eating Whoppers, 40 years old, walked Conor McGregor down, and whoops that Irish ass. And the whole world has given him a participation trophy in the process. Oh, all the analysts. Oh, Conor, you did so great. Oh, Conor won the first 3 rounds in which he was handed. So Conor gets a participation trophy when he loses, but every time he wins, he ridicules the person he defeats. So there's not a lot of respect coming from him as a martial artist. When he wins, he says whatever he wants. He'll make fun of whoever he wants. But when he loses a fight, we all got to back up and bow down. And like I said, hand over the participation trophy. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. Okay, so he goes up in the fight, and, you know, the first thing he says after he lost was, oh, I turned you into a Mexican. You know, it's like, what do you mean turn him to a Mexican? You know, it's like he's still talking shit. That's talking shit. What do you mean turn Mexican? You know, so it's like, if anything, he just made you look bad. You know what I'm saying? And I really didn't like how he took the loss this time. He seemed very bitter, and you know, like, you know, I don't know, it's just really strange. From in the past, he didn't act like that when he lost. So like after the Diaz fight, he didn't really behave like that. So yeah, you know. And the fans, dude, his fans, man, these guys must have Conor McGregor posters in their walls and their jackets. These people are the most delusional fans I've ever seen in my life.
They're worst.
Keep it 100, you know, like, you know, keep it real. Like, I'm always keeping it real. If the guy beat me and said, man, you're fucking better, you know what I would say if I'm Conor McGregor? I say, Floyd, man, I love to fucking train with you. You know, the fight over, we're never going to fight again. It would be an honor if I can come dissect your brain because you're better than me. So that's what he should be doing. And the guy's ego's too big now. I don't know. He acts, you know, the way he acts is horrible. And because, like, if someone beats you, you should want to learn from them and maybe say, man, I'm doing something wrong, you know, because this guy just beat me up, you know. Right. That's the way I think, you know, a fighter should look at it. Just looking at something and looking at anyone in life. Say I meet some billionaire, multi-billionaire, and he's very successful at something. I'm not going to be jealous of him. I'm going to say, man, I love to learn from you. I like to dissect your brain, and, you know, so I can be like you. And that's how you learn. Nobody's smart. I can learn from you, you can learn from me, we can learn from the bum down the street. That bum down the street might be able to do something we don't know how to do. He might know something, you know? So you got to always be willing to learn. That's the thing with Conor. He's stuck on this thing of, I don't want to leave my team and this and that. Man, be your own man. Just be a sponge and want to learn all the time.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So, obviously, he's a world champion. You're the real world champion. When and how, or what is it going to take to defeat the real world champion? If someone's going to take you down, let's outline exactly what they're going to need in their toolbox. If it's possible, how does it happen? All right. This is the thing. If we're doing a true street fight, it's going to be extremely difficult for the guy to take me down. Because the second he's going to try, I have really good takedown defense. I love wrestling, and I've always wrestled, and I'm good at, I'm really good at wrestling. So you don't want to try to take me down because I knee the fuck out of you right in the chin. And in the UFC, I understand they have these rules of you can't knee a downed opponent. So if we're doing like a UFC fight, it's going to be different. If you're in a UFC fight, the best chance you have of defeating me is to try to get me down. And if you get me down, and do your jiu-jitsu on me, because I'm not a big jiu-jitsu guy. I'm good at my favorite grappling technique, though, is a guillotine or maybe an armbar, but it's not something that I focus on. I like the striking. I feel like real fighting is on the feet. So if me and Conor are gonna fight like that, he's the best matchup for me because if he's gonna strike with me, he likes to get his distance, and that's what I do. I like to get my distance, and I like to throw. And I don't throw volume. I throw with power, and I pick my shots, and it's very calculated. So I don't think anybody in the world is gonna beat me in a true fight. If we're going to do MMA regulated fight, I would have to really work on my jiu-jitsu because that would be my weakness. I'm being honest again. That's my weakness. Is a really good jiu-jitsu guy like Damian Maia. He would have a really good chance of beating me, because he's so good at jiu-jitsu. But
that's only if we're doing an MMA bout. If we're on the street, we're fighting, nobody in the world can beat me. And I'm telling you, all these poor, sad individuals that think they can beat me, they want to get famous by fighting me, but you're just going to look like a clown after you get knocked out. You're not going to get famous. You're going to be infamous for being another guy that Matthew Kline Kader knocked out. So, yeah, there's no chance. So, basically, that's what it is.
You talked about a potential impossible, another maybe call out on to watch social media. For anybody listening that's new, if that comes up, when it comes up, can you just explain what that is exactly one more time?
Yeah, so we're going to see what happens with the Conor situation, and then
Right.
I'm done with the UFC guys. I don't want to deal with them. If the right guy wants to set something up and we can do it, I'll do it. But I'm just tired because they're always playing games. But like I said, we'll see what happens. But after that, my goal is to focus on Kader Fight Promotion. So all these people, so many people, we're talking, bro, hundreds of people on Twitter, on Instagram. I can't see it all. I'm just seeing nonstop comments and tweets, and there's too much even to pay attention to it. But all these people are going to have an opportunity. We're going to put an application out there. We're going to, just like I did for August 26th, I put out a fucking statement out there. I said, anyone can apply to fight me on August 26th. All you have to do is follow these simple rules. Submit a video, say your name, your age, where you live, your fight experience. We want people to fight experience. If you don't, that's fine. We're okay with that too. We just wanted to have some competitive fights. So at that time, nobody did it. Nobody applied. Not one person. But then they're all calling me out. They're going to pay me $1,000. But they weren't going to fight me for free. But they're going to pay me $1,000 and $5,000 and $10,000. All this bullshit that they're talking out of their ass, which is chump shit to me. I spend a night out at the fucking nightclub. But anyway, so we'll do the same thing again. You guys can apply. If you make it on board, you will come out. You will fight for Kader Fight Promotions, and you will get an opportunity to fight the real world champion, Matthew Kline Kader. We here accept everyone. We're not like the UFC that they want to make it all difficult, and you got to go suck everyone's dick in the UFC to get into the main event spot. Here, we're an equal opportunity employer. All these people can come apply. So let's see. It'll be coming out. It'll be coming out soon, and it's going to be entertaining. There's my focus after Conor is going to be Kader Fight Promotion. Kader Fight Promotion is going to become the biggest fight promotion in the world. We're not entertainment. We're not going to do rounds. We're not going to do the bullshit. We're going to bring it back to the Kimbo days. You remember Kimbo?
Yes, I do. He fought Hoist Gracie. You talking about Kimbo with the ponytail?
No, Kimbo Slice.
Oh, Kimbo Slice. Okay, I thought you were going back to the first UFCs. Okay.
Yeah, no. We're going to...
Oh, backyard Kimbo Slice. All right.
You remember that shit?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
Okay. So, what did you think about that? Were you entertained by those?
You know what? It made him a YouTube sensation, and everybody loves to watch this stuff. So, yeah, if that kind of... And especially now that fighting is so popular, people will watch it. I mean, any street fight, you're going to get 250,000 views on. Doesn't matter what the quality is. So, if anybody was going to jump on that right now, this is the time to do it.
So... Exactly. Kimbo Slice was out there on YouTube, made a name for himself. He went and did limited fighting. He lost. But I would have loved to see those guys fight him in the backyards because that was true fighting. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I want to bring true fighting back. Let's forget about the drug test. Let's forget about USADA. Look at poor John Jones. Look, the guy's probably the best in that sport. but they keep fucking cracking him for taking some creatine and all this bullshit. You know, it's like this shit's not even in his blood. Like, okay, let me ask you this. I want your opinion on it. I've never asked you this. What do you think about like Vitor Belfort, TRT Belfort? Were you not entertained by him?
Sure, I was entertained by him, but the problem is that you have the entertainment portion of it, which is a bulk of it today, and then you have this governing body, right? And you have the Nevada Athletic State Commission, you have USADA, so it's kind of like you can't have your cake and eat it too. Yes, I was entertained by TRT Vitor. I have mixed thoughts on it. I can understand why some guys want to be on an even playing field if their testosterone levels are low, but then I think you have to also explore why are their testosterone levels low. And TRT Vitor was a dangerous fucking man. He'll kick your head clean off your body. So if you're asking me was I entertained by him, the answer is yes. I mean, we could go into much more about this, but yes, I was entertained. Okay,
but do you think that they should have brought this drug testing in? Do you like that with this USADA shit?
I do, because this is why. And people got to understand, if you've ever done steroids, and I did them when I was younger, I'm going to make an admission, I did a cycle. I did combat sports years later, so I've done both. So I do understand them. I understand them both very much so. What I think steroids, the most advantage that a fighter would gain from them is getting out of fucking bed. There were days where I literally could not get out of my bed. I would limp around work. And if I was on juice, that would be going away. So one guy has to limp around all day till he trains, the next time he trains, while the other one's fresh, recovering from injuries, stuff like that. So it does, and then there's the safety factor, right? People can get hurt in this sport. So it's a catch-22. It's a tough one. I'm not for steroids in the sport of mixed martial arts under the sanctioned governing body. So I'm for USADA. I'm not for it at at this level. Like, this is crazy what these guys are going through. They're slaves. They didn't have a union to protest anything. And the way that they're doing it is awful because it's unfair. They let guys fight when they know that they're dirty. They pull them for when they don't know that they're dirty. Like, there's all kinds of holes in the whole thing. So I'm a fan of it, but I'm not a fan of the way it's running.
Okay, what about, did you like Pride back in the day?
I loved Pride, and I see and I get where you're going with this. I totally understand, man. And those guys were sauced to the gills. So if you want to be entertained, if this is fucking Gladiator, are you not entertained? Like, if this is fucking Gladiator, let him sauce, right? Let him go. Who cares?
Let me say one thing. Let me say, it's not, I don't do steroids. I do, I take rock hard body supplements. They're the best supplements. I love them. I eat really good. I work out consistently. But what I'm saying is that the things that are happening is ruining that sport. Like the John Jones thing, okay, this thing he got caught for, it's not even like a steroid. It's like, it is an illegal substance, but it's not a true steroid because it's not even in his blood, okay? A true steroid needs to go in your blood to really get the true performance out of it. You would want to say performance enhancing drug. Well, it needs to be something that's getting injected into your body. So that's not what he's doing. Whatever he's taking is through a powder or a pill or something. So it's just, it's ruining the sport. Like, the guy's he's the best. That guy's the best. He's the best in the whole company, and he's getting flagged every day for nonsense. So that's what I'm saying. It's killing it. Just come out there and make your test. Let people do whatever the fuck they want. Just say, hey, here, everything's open, and then everyone knows what to expect, and then everything's fine. I'm old school, man. I don't give a fuck about that. I like Pride. The guys were juiced up. The little guy was fighting a guy 8 feet tall. You know what I'm saying? You remember that fight?
Yeah. Hey, if everybody's doing it, then it's not a problem. I don't have an issue with it if everybody's doing it, because then it's fair.
part. The cheating is shady because, you know, they're saying, you know, then that makes it bad because when the guy's cheating and the other guy's not, and then he has an advantage. So let's just make it open and say, hey, you know, you guys can do whatever you want and fucking that's it, you know? So, and people need to be prepared. They might get their fucking heads knocked off if they're fighting someone that's on juice, you know? So, but, yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, though. So it is dangerous for the guy who's, like, not doing anything to fight someone like Vitor Belfort. But, like, he's another guy who's a mental midget. He was on all this juice. The second he comes off, he's getting his ass kicked.
There you go. And that was my next point.
That's not normal. No. That's a mental problem, too.
Yeah, and that's a good point because people need to understand that also. There are a few of these guys that have benefited psychologically. For whatever reason, they're able to rage and really push. Like, Juice did not give Vitor Belfort a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Juice didn't help him throw that high kick. But it did something for him mentally. It allowed him to unleash that fury. So you're 100% bang on the money when you talk about the psychological component in TRT Vitor because he was a much more focused and therefore a much more dangerous individual.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because some people, they think they need all those drugs and that's what makes them confident, you know? And it's like, that spinning left leg kick that he knocked that fucker out with, like, that's not from steroids. Yeah, he had some power maybe behind, but that's called skill to spin like that. And then once he was off, he never did that again. So that was because he's like, oh, I don't have, you know, all these steroids, and now I can't be that man anymore. So, you know, yeah, like you said, it's a catch-22, you know, with all that stuff. So let's actually wrap this up. Let's get into the topics for next week. You know, we're going to have a poll again, and you guys can vote on the topics for that. So let's get into that.
Yeah, you read my mind because that's exactly where I was going to wrap the show up now.
Before we do that, I forgot I had some Twitter questions people submitted. So let me answer those real quick.
Yeah, go for it, man.
So we had, let's see. The Dakota 1, Margaret Grimsby. He said, hey, champ. This is on Twitter. He said, hey, champ, have you ever knocked someone out in a street fight and how did it go down? Yes, I have. I'm not going to really make up some wacko record and say I'm 5,000-0 or something. So I'm going to, you know, I'm televising my fights now. You know, I'm videoing these and putting them on YouTube. So the one fight that I have on YouTube was the first fight I did outside Extreme Couture in Las Vegas before I went to Sacramento. I knocked the guy out, and the video's on my channel here. You can look for it. So technically, my record right now is 3-0. So whatever fights you guys see, that's when the record will change. I'm not going to make up a record. If I lose, the record will change to that. Whatever happens, happens. I will post every fight video, or if it's live, I usually go live, so you guys are going to see it. So right now, I'm technically 3-0. I've had probably over 50 to 70 fights in my life, I'm guessing, something like that. I didn't count them all, but never have lost a fight. Again, same question, or another question from the same guy, Margaret Grimsby at Dakota 1. He said, will you try to get on Joe Rogan's podcast? I'm not going to try anything. What you guys got to do, you guys got to go to him and let him know you guys want me. You guys got to put that demand in there. You guys go attack him to get me on the show. I'm sure he will put me on the show. But he's a hater, you know. He's talking shit on people like me. He thinks if you're not in the UFC, you can't fight. Well, that's bullshit. So, but if he wanted me on the show, I'll, you know, go on there. But I'm not going to try to get on there. And we got another question from Jamie Brown, JJJK Brown, at JJK Brown. When does training camp start? For Matthew Kline Kader, training camp is 365 days a year. If an opportunity comes tomorrow, I'm ready. I don't need a training camp. A real professional, a real fighter, and in my world, in fitness and bodybuilding, you have to be ready at all times. Because if, say, I got a photo shoot, I need to be ready at all times. So I can't tell a photo, oh, I need an 8-week training camp. So I'm always ready. If it's fighting, if it's fitness, whatever the case may be. I love this stuff. I don't need a training camp. That's what separates me from the UFC guys. And I've thought about it many times. Should I go into the UFC world? Should I really enter it and really show these guys? Should I go into that field? I'm like loving what I'm doing right now. I don't know if an opportunity opens up for that, I will, entertain it. Right now, I'm doing my own thing. I want to be focused on Kader Fight Promotions. I want to make Kader Fight Promotions the biggest company in the world. I don't like the entertainment stuff. But if something happens, I get an opportunity, I will, I will entertain it. And let me see what else we got here. Okay, we got the activist at Jules_Yo says, real question. This seems to be for pride to show the world you're the king. Would you fight Conor for free to prove you're the true champ? Yeah, I said this earlier in the show. It's not about money. If Conor wants to set up a date and time and you want to, promote it at Croke Park, I'm willing to do that. All I want is my travel expenses and all that to be covered. He can make the money because when I knock him out, he's not going to be worth anything. So I'm not here to make money. I'm about pride. I have money. I'm a smart individual. I make money with my brain too. So I don't need to do the fighting stuff to make money. I'm a true champion. A real world champion isn't worried about the money. A real world champion is not going to do a press conference and let another man call him a faggot, pussy, bitch, and then sit there because he wants to go get a payday. A real man, a real world champion is going to grab that motherfucker by the neck and throw him fucking down a flight of stairs. That's what a real world champion is. Let's see. Shout out to Knockout Ned at Kung Fu Netty. He says, Shadow King to fuck Conor up bad. Let's see what else we got. Alright, that's about it. So, so that was our questions for this. Oh, and I got Booty Sweat Tommy. He says, at Booty Sweat Tommy, he says, how long have you been a lesbian? I've been a lesbian my whole life, brother. Of course I'm a lesbian. What are you talking about? I love women. Love all types of women. Love beautiful women. Love white women. I love Brazilian women. I love them all. Just got to have a fit body, tight fit body, have some nice tits, have a nice ass, and we're good to go. So let's get into the topics for next.
All right. Well, the first one is Ultimate Entertainment Championship. If that comes up next week, what will we hear about?
All right. So if you guys vote for Ultimate Entertainment Championship, I will talk to you guys about why the UFC is entertainment, why I kind of said it a little bit in this podcast, why true fighting is not the UFC. They want to say ultimate fighting, it's not. And when you pay for a pay-per-view and a fight goes to a draw, that's not fighting. And if you guys are true fight fans, you guys should be demanding your money back when you pay for a pay-per-view and you don't get your money back when there's a draw. That's not fighting. So we'll talk about that in detail, and I'll break it down. We'll talk about gladiators, how they used to fight in Rome time, in Italy and Greek, all that stuff, and how the true warriors, how the true gladiators fought, and how today we're not even close to that with the UFC.
All right, the next one, John Jones and PEDs.
Yeah, so we touched on that a little bit. I want to talk about John Jones, his legacy, and talk about exactly, I'll tell you guys what those substances were that he got flagged for, because like I said, I'm in the fitness world. I know exactly what those things do. I can tell you the benefits of it. I can tell you how he took it, and I can break down to you how little of insignificance those products have, and I will also tell you guys how strong the USADA testing is, that you can't cheat it. So that's what we'll talk about if John Jones wins the poll for next week.
All right, and Next one is what it takes to be a winner.
What it takes to be a winner. If this poll wins, we will talk about just how to have the mental focus to succeed in life. How you don't need to come from a rich family. You don't need to have, all this support from people. All you have to do is believe in yourself. And I will tell you guys about how I became a winner at life, about my struggles, my roller coaster of life, how I came from a very rich family, how my family lost everything, how I built what I had, how I did it all from the ground up, how I had my extended family who has all this money, they didn't support me. And I will tell you guys all my struggles, and hopefully I can inspire someone who's struggling today to make their life better, because as much as you guys think Matthew Kline Kader's cocky, it's not cocky, it's confidence, and I care about my fans, and I want you guys all to succeed. And I think, if that topic wins next week, I will tell you guys about my struggles, and you guys will not feel alone if you are struggling.
I like that topic, and I hope it wins. What it takes to be a winner. So if you're listening, choose that one. Just my opinion. Last but not least, and we already touched this twice, so I know you'll just skim over it, but it is Kader Fight Promotions.
If Kader Fight Promotions wins, we will disclose what I'm working on.
All right.
If it wins, this is why I didn't say it today. There is something is in the works, and I haven't even told you because I want it to be authentic and we speak about it on here. So.
Right. Well, I might have to come down with chucks and bows if this thing when this thing gets popping.
If Kader Fight Promotions win, we will disclose the next event for Kader Fight Promotion. We will detail how to be involved in this event, and it's not just going to be one person. There's going to be many people who can be a part of it.
Right.
So if that poll wins for next week, we will get into all of that stuff, and all these people will have an opportunity to be an official fighter with Kader Fight Promotion.
All right, folks, there you have it. There are your topics. That is our podcast for today, episode 1. Kader Unleashed. That is going to do it. We are out of here. Make sure to tune in next time, folks.
One more thing. I got one thing to say. You're looking at the Versace wearing, hard body and overbearing, one of a kind, chiseled and outlined, the mastermind, the pinnacle of excellence with the right hand that's so damn venomous. The man you want to be, the man your girl wants to see, the king, Matthew Kline Kader. We're out.
You need people like me.
Matthew Kline Kader!
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Matthew Kline Kader.
I'm a fucking lion. Ultimate entertainment competition. You want to say you're a fighter? Come find Kader's the pinnacle of excellence.
I am the God.